Let's talk about a single-phase changeover switch. Right now, I have a 4-step switch plus 1022 pole with a 50 amp rating, or this is its specification. I will explain its complete installation, electrical connections, and its purpose of use in detail. You will get all the necessary details here today. As you can see, inside the box, we get a rotary switch, which is called a changeover switch. Apart from this, it has a knob, screws, and the display plate, which will be visible on the panel. Now, I will give you a complete explanation of what it is used for. The meaning of a changeover switch is to shift from one supply to another. As you can see, this switch has the option to turn on, and the 0 position is to turn off. The 1 and 2 positions mean that if you have 2 supplies, you're taking electricity from 2 meters, and you want to run 1 meter for 10 hours and the other for 12 hours, what you would do is keep it on position 1 for the first meter and on position 2 for the second meter. If you want to use the second meter, first turn the switch to the off position, 0, and then shift it to 2. This way, the 2 supplies coming into your house will both be used, but the load will remain on one side, so you can use it easily like this. Additionally, if you are facing frequent load shedding and want to use a generator or manually switch to solar panels, you can use this switch. Nowadays, if solar panels are installed with an inverter, then you don't need this switch, but for a manual system, this switch can be used. So, if you want to switch the power supply when the electricity goes out, let's say the power was on position 1, meaning the supply from the government or any company was connected to 1, and now you want to shift it from 1 to another source. Here's how you would do it. You will rotate the rotary switch. As you can see, this switch has a knob. You will first turn it to the off position, 0, from 1. After that, when you shift it to 2, your supply will automatically switch to the second source. However, the load will remain the same, meaning your house will stay powered with the same load. Now, let's talk about the installation process of this switch on the distribution board. There's a specific way to install it. Typically, the distribution board already has pre-drilled holes, so you'll need to install the switch in these holes. But how exactly? First, the plate must be positioned correctly so it faces upwards and the knob is properly aligned with the 1 and 2 positions. You'll notice that different switches can be positioned differently, but here we have a hole that indicates where the 0 point is, meaning the off position. We need to install the switch so that this point aligns properly on the panel. To do this, we insert the switch from behind the panel, ensuring that the hole is facing upward to get the correct position. You will see 2 nuts provided, and with these nuts, we will secure the plate in place. Now let's talk about the number plate. How do you install it correctly to ensure proper installation? The cover inside the switch has the number plate. Notice that there's one plain side, while the other side is designed with up and down grooves. These grooves are meant to fit the heads of the screws properly. You can install it with either 2 screws or 4 screws, depending on your need. Additionally, this is a multi-purpose system as there are 4 screws that can be installed. Since the system we're working with has the center 2 screws, we'll use those. By using these screws, we will secure the back side of the switch, ensuring that the screw heads fit properly into the grooves. This way, we'll have a clean, flat surface, ensuring everything fits neatly. Now I will show you how to install it. So, I have now installed the screws, as you can see, and the surface is completely flat. Now, I will apply the sticker on top of it and lock it in place. Finally, I'll attach the knob and our switch will be complete. Now, let's move on to the wiring connections. But before we understand the wiring, it's important to grasp the internal mechanism of the switch. This is because the switch is multi-purpose, but for now, we're using it specifically as a changeover switch, and I will explain both this purpose and the mechanism. If we examine the switch, we can divide it into 2 parts. As you can see, there are 4 connections on one side, and the other side is plain, with 4 connections on both the right and left sides. So, we divide it into the left and right sides. When you look at it this way, you'll notice that on each side, there are 2 points, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. All of these connections are parallel, meaning none of the points are directly connected to each other. The point on the right side connects to the point on the left side when the switch is rotated. These 2 points are parallel, and when the switch is turned, the right side point connects to the left side point. I'll demonstrate how this connection happens. I'll hold the switch in place, and I've now set it up. We'll now set the multimeter to continuity mode to check which points are connected. We'll test points 5, 6, and 1, 2 and see if they connect. These points don't connect. Now I'll rotate the switch and you can see that point 7 connects to point 8 and point 3 connects to point 4. These points are now connected to each other. So now, when I rotate the switch to the other side, previously we had 7 and 8 connected, and now you can see that 5, 6, and 1, 2 are connected together. You can hear the sound and see the multimeter showing continuity, indicating that these points are now connected. The lower points are still not connected, which means that the two sets of points are connected in pairs. Now we need to use this switch for a changeover system. Our setup will have one side for the load and two sides for the power supplies. To make this work, we need to connect 2 points in series using a jumper. As you can see, we have a jumper available, and we can connect any 2 points in series on either side. There's no problem with which side you choose. Now, let me show you how it works. I've opened the switch and connected the points in series using a jumper. And now the changeover setup is ready. Let me explain how this becomes a changeover switch. As I mentioned earlier, the points are not connected by default, but now with the jumper, 2 sides are connected, leaving 1 point on each side empty. Here's what will happen. When you connect one power supply to a point, the load will remain connected on the other side. This way, the load stays powered and the supply gets attached to the switch. When you rotate the rotary switch again, what will happen is that the supply will disconnect from the top points and connect to the bottom points. As the bottom points get connected, the power supply will switch to the other source while keeping the load the same. This is a simple way to understand how the changeover switch works. In this way, you can easily turn this into a functional changeover switch to shift between 2 power supplies while maintaining the load on one side. Now, let's talk about the wiring diagram. Some points are connected, as shown in the diagram I've created. When the knob is set to the off position, 0, the first supply is connected here, and the second supply is connected there, as indicated. The load will be on this side. When the knob is at 0, all points are disconnected. When the knob is turned to position 1, points 1 and 2, as well as points 5 and 6, will be connected, while the other 2 points will remain disconnected. Similarly, in position 2, points 3 and 4, and points 7 and 8 will be connected, while the remaining 2 points stay disconnected. Click on the left or right thumbnail to watch our next videos, and subscribe. Thank you.